This is the CIA's T-1151, also known as the Dogdo transmitter. It was most commonly described as a radio homing beacon that sent out a signal to military monitors listening for a signal from somebody in need of rescue. They were usually camouflaged to resemble the feces of a medium-sized dog or another animal such as a monkey. It may look like your average piece of shit, but this complex transmitter was used throughout the Vietnam War. Originally developed by the United States military intelligence in the early 1970s, it emitted a signal allowing the US military to monitor movements, no, not that kind, shipments, or find a soldier in need of rescue. Its primary purpose was to help aircraft pinpoint key enemy ground sites for strikes or reconnaissance. Dropped along the Ho Chi Minh Trail by aircraft, the device transmitted a warning when supply movements occurred during the night. The expertly crafted and specially camouflaged radio beacon was positioned throughout the jungles of Vietnam and was covered in a hardened peat moss shell. The signals it transmitted were monitored by a variety of agencies, including the CIA. What this actually is a US military seismic intrusion detector, or SID, with built-in battery-powered VHF radio transmitters. When this was stepped on or disturbed, the SID would send a VHF radio signal to hidden radio receivers within their communication range, typically 1,000 to 1,500 feet, for alarm, analysis, or retransmission. These SIDs were used to detect enemy troop movements in jungle environments. Therefore, they were camouflaged to look like items that would be typically found naturally in the jungle, for example twigs or rocks covered in moss or mud. They were often referred to as turd SIDs, dog-do transmitters, or monkey turds by soldiers because of their shape and colour. At just over 4 inches long and 3/4 of an inch in height, this inconspicuous spy tool was small enough to ensure it was undetected and sent its signals usually via Morse code. Because the device gave the appearance of a piece of shit, it was often left undisturbed and therefore retained high efficiency as a homing beacon even when planted days or weeks before a mission. It was usually only put out of action by its empty nickel-cadmium batteries. The antenna, of course, wasn't telescopic like the one I've added for dramatic effect. It was a small wire built into the device itself, which meant that its transmitting range was extremely short. Another operational advantage of the Dogdo transmitter was its ability to remain concealed long after its operational usefulness had ended. The appearance of the device was designed to discourage close examination, meaning it didn't allow the enemy the intelligence advantage of knowing that a particular site was one time used as a transmission or rendezvous point. Downed aviators were trained to identify the Dogdo transmitter and use it to call for aid. By interrupting the T-1151's radio broadcast, the stranded pilot could alert personnel monitoring the signal to their presence. The T-1151 transmitter proved to be an incredibly effective tool. After Vietnam, it was further modified and used by other agencies, including the CIA.